Hey guys, so in this video we're going to discuss sleep. Now I'm coming from the place of having studied psychology for a few years in university. I never got my degree, so don't be under any illusions that I'm some sort of doctor or PT, but sleep is so important for the recovery of our bodies after exercise. It's also very important for hypertrophy, growing new muscle mass or extra muscle mass, and it's very important also for the cognitive rehearsal of new skills. So studies have found that if you have a quick nap or even study before sleep, so if you have a nap after study or if you study before you go to bed, you're more likely to remember it the next day. But so many people, they know about how many hours that you're roughly meant to get for sleep. They know what sleep hygiene means, but they never really practice it. So I'm going to detail in this video how you can solidify your body clock and really get a strong circadian rhythm. Because a stronger circadian rhythm means that the hormones in your body, as well as the neurotransmitters from your brain in your nervous system, will become more regular. And that's really important for your emotional and mental health as well. So, first of all, the first thing you need to do is decide on what time you're going to go to bed and what time you're going to wake up. You need a regular bedtime, just like when you were a little kid, and you need a regular wake up time. You can base this around your commitments. If you are a billionaire that doesn't need to work, then you can just base it around the most convenient time of day for you. Myself personally, I go to bed probably around 9 p.m. and I wake up at about 5 a.m. I like watching the sunrise, I like watching the sunset. I don't like waking up in the middle of the day, and it works best with the work that I do with my martial arts instruction and with security. So, use an alarm, buy an alarm clock. I have found that my iPhone is completely useless when it comes to alarms. No matter what, something always seems to go wrong. With your waking up time, try not to, for 6 days of the week, deviate by more than 30 minutes. And the less you deviate, so the more routine it is, the better and stronger your circadian rhythm will be. You can have one day a week where you deviate from this, you sleep in, that's fine. I do this usually on Saturday nights. I'll have a social commitment, so I'll stay up till probably around midnight or something. It's fine to deviate from this. You don't need to be some sort of monk. You don't need to separate yourself from your social life. You can go out once a week. So, about 6 hours before you're meant to go to bed, this is the point where you need to stop consuming caffeine. Okay, for me, I taper off of caffeine. I wake up and I have a coffee. About 3 or 4 hours later, I have a green tea, which has a little bit less caffeine in it. And then 3 or 4 hours after that, I'll have just a regular Earl Grey. And what this means is, at the start of the day, I have a big spike of caffeine, and then a slightly smaller spike of caffeine, and then another small spike, and then for the rest of the day, I don't have any more caffeine coming in. This also goes for nicotine. Smoking, I feel like I almost don't need to say this in this day and age, but if you are smoking, you need to immediately take steps to quit. Smoking is just suicide. It takes longer, but you're killing your body, you're killing your mental health. I'm not going to go into it. I don't need to be your mom and dad over this, but you need to stop smoking if you're currently smoking. It will screw up not only your sleep cycle, but it's going to screw with your health. About 2 hours before bed, this is the point where you want to stop exercising. So don't increase your heart rate by moving around, doing your cardio. It's best for falling asleep that you don't exercise or eat any food 2 hours prior to going to bed. Now, about 1 hour before bed, you want to also cut out your screens. most screens on modern devices will emit some sort of blue light, particularly if you look at the Facebook configuration in the dark, you're getting blue light shot into your retina. Now, blue light, as the brain chemistry works, will release neurotransmitters in your brain that wake you up. And the reason for this, some evolutionary biologists or psychologists will say, is you would come out of your cave and the sun would come up, the sky would go blue, and that is how your body would learn when to wake up, as well as other things like your first meal of the day. It's important to have a breakfast in the morning that repeatedly, it trains your body to wake up at the same time if you eat breakfast regularly on awakening. Alternatively, you can dim the screen on your devices, and you can buy some apps on the App Store that actually turn your screen gradually red or yellow as you fall asleep, the day goes on. And so this can help actually release the alternate neurotransmitters in your brain that will help you sort of drift off to sleep. Finally, it is also of value to develop a wake-up routine and a sleepy time routine. I will often listen to a guided meditation in bed before I fall asleep. Now, there are other things that you want to avoid, things like reading in bed, watching movies in bed. Your bed should really only be used for sleeping and a couple of other activities. But those do not include playing video games, watching movies, no matter how good they are, watching TV shows. So, integrate these things into your lifestyle for the next 14 days, the next 2 weeks, and then move on to the next video where we're going to talk about nutrition. And that is going to also help with your sleeping, because we're going to be cutting down on things like processed sugar and all of that kind of crap. So, I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye. A lot of people see sleep as almost a wasteful behavior. After all, more or less, it is almost a strange phenomenon when you think about it. We get into a bed with our special clothes on. We hallucinate unconscious for hours on end. I'm gonna sneeze. Bit of an echo on that one.